Dealey Plaza, Dallas. A clear November afternoon. The world is watching as a president's motorcade turns onto Elm Street. We've all seen the footage, the sudden impact, the chaos, and the end of an era. For over 60 years, the official story has remained unchanged. A lone Marine with a surplus rifle performed the impossible. But what if the most analyzed moment in human history is also the most successfully managed? Why did the House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1979 conclude that there was a 95% probability of a second responsible party? Why were the testimonies of 8 separate witnesses who claimed to smell gunpowder and see smoke near the grassy knoll summarily ignored? And most importantly, what was in the 1,100 files the CIA fought to keep redacted for over half a century? Today, we are going past the official Warren Commission report. We are investigating the Operation Northwoods documents that revealed a military plan to stage acts of terrorism on American soil. The splinter vow that pitted a president against his own intelligence agencies, and the terrifying reality that the truth about that day is still being curated behind a wall of national security. To understand the mystery, we must look at the physics of the fateful event. The official narrative relies on the single bullet theory. It claims that a single fired projectile passed through the president's back, exited his throat, struck Governor John Connally's back, exited his chest, passed through his wrist, and finally lodged in his thigh, only to fall out later onto a hospital stretcher in nearly pristine condition. Critics call it the magic bullet. If this theory fails, the lone responsible party narrative collapses. Yet declassified forensic reviews in the 1990s suggest that the trajectory required for such an event defies basic geometry. But the anomalies don't stop with the ballistics. They extend to the witnesses who were on the ground. Take the case of Gordon Arnold. In 1978, he came forward claiming he had filmed the entire tragic end from the grassy knoll. He stated that immediately after the impacts, a man waving a badge confiscated his film and was never seen again. Or consider Beverly Oliver, the babushka lady. She too was filming the motorcade from a prime angle. She claimed that men identifying as federal agents took her footage, promising to return it within 10 days. That film remains missing to this day. Why was the evidence systematically gathered and then vanished? In 1979, the House Select Committee turned to the science of acoustics. They analyzed a recording from a motorcycle officer's open microphone. Their bombshell conclusion? There were at least 4 distinct acoustic signatures consistent with gunfire. One of those shots was tracked to the grassy knoll. For a brief moment, the government admitted to a conspiracy. But then, as always, the records were managed, the data was contested, and the silence returned. To find the why, we have to look at the tension within the halls of power. In 1962, just 1 year before the tragic end, a document was presented to the president that would have changed the moral fabric of the nation. It was titled Justification for U.S. Military Intervention in Cuba. We know it today as Operation Northwoods. Declassified in the late 1990s, these memos, approved by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, proposed a series of false flag operations. The plan suggested staging the sinking of a U.S. ship, conducting mock funerals for mock victims, and even perpetrating acts of terrorism in American cities to be blamed on foreign powers. The goal was simple: to create public outrage for a war the administration was hesitant to start. President Kennedy rejected the plan. He removed the general who proposed it and began a campaign to scale back the influence of the military-industrial complex. After the failure of the Bay of Pigs, he reportedly made a chilling vow. He wanted to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the winds. From that moment on, the relationship between the Oval Office and the intelligence community wasn't just strained, it was a war. Kennedy was reining in the Federal Reserve with Executive Order 111010, aiming to return the power of currency to the Treasury. He was signaling a withdrawal from conflicts in Southeast Asia. He was becoming a threat to the very agencies designed to protect the state. In the high-stakes world of global power, when a leader becomes a liability to the system often finds a way to neutralize the problem. While the agencies watched from the shadows, another force was waiting in the wings: organized crime. The connection between the CIA and the mob in the early 1960s is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is a documented historical fact. Records reveal that the agency actually hired mobsters like Sam Giancana to attempt to end the life of foreign leaders. The mob had been instrumental in securing the 1960 election, believing they would have a friend in the White House who would leave their operations alone. Instead, the president appointed his brother, Robert Kennedy, as Attorney General. Robert launched an unprecedented crusade against the mob, targeting New Orleans boss Carlos Marcello. Marcello was a man who didn't forget a betrayal. He was once heard by an FBI informant making a threat against the president, stating that if you want to kill a dog, you don't cut off the tail, you cut off the head. The links to Lee Harvey Oswald, the official responsible party, are equally provocative. Oswald's uncle, Charles Moret, was a bookmaker in Marcello's New Orleans gambling ring. Oswald himself spent time in New Orleans just months before the fateful event, advocating for political causes that many believe were a cover for his role as a low-level intelligence asset. Then came the final act of management, the silencing of the perpetrator. Jack Ruby, the man who ended Oswald's journey during a televised jail transfer, was a nightclub owner with deep ties to the Dallas mob and law enforcement. Why would a grief-stricken citizen risk his life to silence a televised subject? Or was he the cleanup crew for a contract that was never supposed to leave the shadows? As we look at this case through a modern lens, we realize that the cleanup operation is still ongoing. Despite the 1992 Assassination Records Collection Act, which mandated the release of all documents, thousands of files remained partially or fully hidden well into the 21st century. When the most recent document tranches were unveiled, the bombshells weren't about the impacts in Dealey Plaza. They were about the infrastructure of control. We learned about the CIA's mail tampering operations, their recruitment to foreign diplomats, and the systematic surveillance of Oswald in Mexico City, details the agency withheld from the original Warren Commission. Agencies have argued for decades that these redactions are necessary to protect sources and methods, but researchers ask, which methods? Some documents are still not scheduled for full release until 2029. Even the president's autopsy records, featuring conflicting descriptions of the entry and exit wounds, have been a subject of intense management. Former Navy technicians present at the hospital reported seeing injuries that were entirely inconsistent with shots fired from the rear, suggesting that the life was taken by an impact from the front. Is it possible that the secrets of Dallas are linked to the secrets we've uncovered in the Amazon and Antarctica? Are we looking at a global pattern of information sterilization, where powerful interests decide which version of history we are allowed to believe? The tragic loss of a president was a turning point for a nation, but it was also a masterclass in how a state can curate reality until the truth is buried under millions of pages of redacted ink. The mystery of that day in Dallas remains a jagged hole in our understanding of the world. It is the story of a man who tried to change the rules and a system that proved it was the one truly in control. It reminds us that the maps of our history
are often drawn by the survivors, not the truth seekers. If you want to help us declassify more of these hidden archives and shed light on the shadows of our world, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an entry. Your support allows the algorithm to push these investigative stories to others who are looking for the truth beneath the surface. What is your theory on the tragic end of JFK? Was it a lone responsible party or a multi-agency operation that goes deeper than we can imagine? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and tell us which classified archive or forbidden truth you want us to investigate next. We are reading every suggestion. But the secrets of the Capitol aren't the only ones managed by powerful interests.
If you think the cover-up in Dallas is unsettling, you need to see our investigation into Zone 12, the forbidden UFO files hidden by the state in the Amazon. We go deep into the heart of the jungle to uncover the records of a military operation that captured over 500 images of crafts that shouldn't exist, a case so undeniable that the lead officer's journey came to a tragic end just weeks after he finally broke his silence. You can watch that investigation right here. The archives are open. Stay curious. I'll see you in the next mystery.